wire cable, where you had 2 hours of battery life, you had to schlep the thing around, you had to wait 30 minutes for the thing to upload into iMovie before you could spend another few hours messing around with clunky software before exporting a video that you can make better in about 2 minutes, about 30 seconds, on this device that we all have today. I mean, how far technology has moved our ability to create things, and how much of the most compelling content being created today was so much harder to create just a few years ago. So, as our audience has grown, we're now serving about 150 million people all over the world. About 60% of those are international. We've been really determined to preserve our focus on those creative class, those people that actually make the stuff that gets linked to everywhere else on the internet. Those people who actually make the compelling content, the interesting stuff that inspires us, makes us laugh, informs us, intrigues us. Giving them a new canvas, giving them new colors to paint with, giving them the stuff that we don't totally understand, where we very often are surprised the next day when we see how this community turns around and shows us the ways that they're able to use it, the ways that they're able to use galleries of photos that you can lay out, the ways that you can use larger animated images, the way that you can use infinitely long text posts, all of the types of media that we've tried to empower creators with over the last few years, or the last 5 years actually. Tumblr's 5 years old today. It's really one of the most rewarding jobs I can imagine. I just can't begin to tell you how incredible a feeling it is to spend all day coding up a feature. I'm an engineer by background, so I used to actually be involved in this product team that was building this stuff. How inspiring it is to spend all day building something that you have a hunch would be cool to use, and all you can really think through is maybe the way you could come up with to use this particular feature, the way that you would lay out photos, the way that you would create this particular post or this type of blog if you had this engine to customize themes and make them look any way you wanted. You can think through all the ways you would use it. You can kind of imagine your idols, the people that you aspire to be like, or the creators that you really admire. You can kind of imagine the ways they might use it. You have all of these fantasies. You spend all day building this feature, and then you put it out there into the world. And then you go home, and the next day you come in, and are completely surprised or often completely overwhelmed by all of the ways these millions of people showed you how to use this thing that you just built. It is unbelievably rewarding, fulfilling, gets us out of bed early every day, and it is the greatest job in the world. That's why I'm so privileged to be a #Tumblr CEO. So look, we count you guys among those creators who are making Tumblr what it is. I hope you guys do too, and hopefully the advertising products that we released a few months ago give you some glimpse into that, which really do show you, and it should show you our commitment to treating you guys like part of that creative class of our community, that core creative class that makes Tumblr what it is. So what I really like most about these tools that we rolled out, they're not really new things that we rolled out. We took, well, first of all, I should say they're built on the atomic units of the service. Tumblr is built on blogs that are made up of posts. It's two ideas, blogs and posts. And you can reblog a post, you can follow blogs, blogs and posts. And the features of the service that allow you to discover content are things like following, things like reblogging. We've also introduced features over the years like Spotlight to discover blogs and Tumblr Radar to discover posts. So everybody who uses Tumblr, when they sign up, they're looking at the Tumblr Spotlight where they can see a big collection of thousands of kind of categorized, organized, and curated wonderful blogs to kind of jumpstart their experience of using Tumblr. Tumblr Radar is there for every active user every day, to the tune of 120 million impressions every day that this little spot gets that has a post in it. Sorry, throughout the day it has a few dozen posts in it, actually. And those posts are curated from the most popular posts on our network that day. So basically the ones with the highest velocity bubble up to the top of our system, and our editors go through and click, check off the ones, hit approve, deny, go through those photos, or not just photos, those links, those videos, those quotes, to curate the best content from across our network. It is not only one of the most interesting and surprising sources of content on Tumblr, because it's not just the stuff that you've subscribed to, that you've programmed. It's not just the magazine that you've subscribed to, would be a corollary here. It's having something new and interesting shown to you, just like when your friend shows up and tells you to punch in a YouTube video that was really funny. That radar is that friend telling you, hey, did you see this yet? And Tumblr Radar is made up of stuff that you haven't seen yet. It comes from people that you haven't followed yet comes from very often brand new people on the network who showed up and suddenly got big velocity with some new idea, whether it's text from Hillary or dog shaming. It's new, it's emerging, and very often very interesting and surprising. So not only is it this wonderful feature for those people that spend hours a day finding this, let's see, for the people that spend millions of hours a day on the Tumblr, millions of hours a day, people who spend hours a day on the Tumblr dashboard, millions of people who spend hours a day on the Tumblr dashboard. Not only is it a wonderful feature for them, it is the most sought after spot in our network by those creators. It is the biggest honor, privilege, whatever. It's the most exciting moment in those creators' lives, certainly in their Tumblr lives, sometimes in their live lives, at the moment when they realize that this thing that they created, there was some chance, there's always that promise, creating something on Tumblr, there's always that promise that it's going to get some traction, that somebody's going to reblog it, and then some more people are going to reblog it. Somebody with real influence, one of those super peers, is going to reblog it and get it in front of millions of people, and all of a sudden you're the most popular person on Tumblr. Tumblr Radar is kind of it is the kind of materialization of that vision, or that dream, that promise, that at any moment the system might pick you, that those editors might hit the button and might put you in front of millions of people, in front of those 150 million people that come to Tumblr every month. It is, again, the most sought after spot in our network. We've been running that spot for 4 years. It's become deeply, deeply ingrained in the behavior of our network. It's understood, the concept of Tumblr Radar is understood by all of our users. Again, it's sought after, it's appreciated, it's this wonderful feature for our network. It is the opposite of adjacency. It is, again, the most prized thing. And we took 5% of that in May and started making it available to advertisers. No new tools, no brand pages, no new platforms to learn. Built on the same atomic elements that we've already seen brands and marketers using for the last few years, really over the last 2.5 years when we saw these guys starting to show up. We were just talking about IBM being one of the very early ones showing up with Smarter Planet. We saw these guys starting to show up and having real success. As we've gotten to understand that success better, as they've started to more and more understand the success that they're able to have inside our network, get better and better at it, the products that we're rolling out are designed, again, to build on top of that success that they're already having, to build on top of the endemic features and tools that are already on Tumblr, that Tumblr Spotlight and that Tumblr Radar, which, again, is just built in turn on top of blogs and posts. It's why I'm really so bullish on these features, but so excited to see this get used more and more. Again, we really count you guys in this creative class. You guys have already been doing extraordinary stuff on our network, which we'd all really love to talk to you more about tonight and hear more about what you're excited to do. But again, the products that we're rolling out and we'll hopefully continue to roll out are built on that idea that you guys can use these tools just as well as the millions of other creators that make Tumblr what it is. So thank you for everything that you guys are doing on Tumblr already. I would love to jump into any of those questions, any of those thoughts you guys have. Let me just rattle